So, yeah, I'm David, CMO of StarTerra, and with me here is two members of the PlayNity team. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Dominic, known also as Coley. I'm game lead manager in PlayNity.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's okay.
we can.
Oh, great. Sorry, because I never used Discord to the talking, so only Zoom, Google Meetings, and for now it was a little problem. But okay, I'm with you. Thanks.
It's new for you and me.
Yeah, it's a little. Okay.
So, Przemek, introduce yourself. What is your role in the PlayNity team?
Yeah, so my role is I'm one of two co-founders in PlayNity, and we are creating guild play to earn project in the space of crypto. And here with me is Dominic. I don't know if he introduced himself.
I did.
Okay, and we'll be launching in a few days, and tomorrow is, as you probably know, IDO on StarTerra.
Yeah, we're doing an IDO on StarTerra, and you guys are also being incubated by us as well. So we appreciate your contributions to this. Let's just kind of jump into it. Just some general questions from myself, and then we'll get into some of the questions from our community. So tell us, you mentioned, you're a guild, right? What is that? What is a guild?
Okay, so in a simplest words, there is in the space of play to earn, there are a lot of problems because players who want to play, for example, in most popular game Axie, need some capital to start. For example, in Axie, players need $1,500, and for most people from countries like Philippines, Viet, or some poorer countries, it is kind of money they can't afford. So we, as a guild, make this possibility for them. And on the other side, investors can buy our token, stake it, or stake in the future. They will be able to stake other tokens. So they will contribute in our players' earnings. So they don't have possess any in-game knowledge, and they can just invest in play to earn. It's something like ETF for them to the play to earn area. They don't have to think if Axie is on fire, if the Axie is going down, anything. We will watch this, and if you invest in our project, then you have exposition to play to earn as a whole. And we, for the good of the project, and investors will decide which parts are best.
Okay, awesome. Well, actually, you're kind of touching on a few points that our community have asked in the questions, and we have 10 questions we picked. Out of those 10 people, the 10 questions that we did pick, the people who asked those questions get a $50 allocation in your project through StarTerra. So we're just going to jump right into it and talk about, first and foremost, where did the name come from? This is asked by Ash Gracie. Where did the name PlayNity come from?
The name came from basically play is like play, and nity is infinity. So play infinity.
Okay, all right, play infinity. A little bit of play on words. I'm guessing Axie Infinity, or more
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right. So in terms of, here's another question. This is from Hubert 001. If I become a supplier and am not really a gamer, will I have to choose the exact games I want to invest in, or will there be options to diversify my portfolio? And then he follows that up with, how much percentage of gains will I get, and how often will it be distributed?
Okay, so there is a transparent process because investors don't have to know our players because it is not necessary. We will make the whole process transparent, of course, but each investor takes the same part of ROI because it is not possible to make for, let's say, 2,000-3,000 scholars or players to make direct connections with particular investors. And if they want to do this, then probably they can do it outside our guild. It's like this because our guild enables a trust part. It's a because investor has to believe that players will not steal from him, and players have to believe that the investor will pay them the money. So we are the third party in the middle who takes the responsibility that everything goes right. And of course, there are some small guild likes. So trainer has 30 scholars, and this is it. But there are some trust issues, and of course, the trainer only knows one game or two games, and scholars cannot be redirected to another. So for investor, okay, so our project main idea was in the early summer. A lot of people asked about play to earn as the Axie Infinity was warming up, and a lot of people thought, how can we invest into the play to earn trend? And I would like to have some players, scholars that they play to me, but I don't want to know really how this all goes, and I don't want to be on time how breeding in Axie works right now, what changes will be in the next week, and so on. I want to invest it, and professionals will do it for me, trainers, managers, and so on. So this is the main idea. Maybe Dominic, do you have something to add about it?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, this is. I mean, the idea itself is amazing because you allow the investors to either essentially rent their tokens to players who want to use them, right? So this is the connection that you facilitate, and this is all done on chain where it's trust, and you can just look it up and make sure that you are getting what you pay for and that the percentages are as they were. So
Yeah, exactly. And just we can add one more thing, that it's up to us to choose the best game to play to ROI be the highest as possible.
And that was actually going to be a great question because we have Hubert, or actually we asked that one. Camille Ponzi, he asks, how will decisions be made regarding the resignation from a game which PlayNity invests in? For example, if a game will turn out to be a failure or the game economy will change, which will become unprofitable for PlayNity, how will the community have a voice, or will it be arbitrary decisions made by the PlayNity team?
Okay, so at the beginning, of course, there will be decisions made by a team, basically, but after 1 or 2 months, we will transfer it to the community. To the community. There will be some governance, more and more governance as we grow, for people to vote on which game to play. But the basic idea is that which game gives us the biggest ROI. It's like this, because if Axie gives us a month, let's say average 30 or 40% 1 month, so this is about, let's say, 500 a year. So why should we go to the game which gives us 5 times more, 5 times less? Yeah, and this is the problem where community could go to the voting, like those players like this game and they will vote for it because they like this game, but this game doesn't give so much profit. But of course, it will be up to community. This is the main idea of DAO, and the community will vote community will be able to vote on how much incentives will go to players, how much incentives will go to investors, leaderboards, will some gamification inside our guild, so the clans between other games can make some challenges, and we can make some leaderboards. So there will be some gamification inside our project. So the one trainer or manager with his group can compete with others, and there will be achievement NFTs to gain, like let's say in PlayStation there were achievements. Many of you probably know that you achieve some achievements and you get. So here you will have NFTs. We will issue those NFTs, and they will be very unique because there will be one achievement, one NFT, and this will be very profitable probably. And after that, we will issue our own NFTs based on what's going on our guild. This is planned for the first quarter of the next year after the launch.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also have to remember that we'll be playing multiple games. Right now, we are playing both Axie and Titan Arena. And at the moment, like this week, Titan Arena is much more profitable than Axie Infinity. So we are moving our players a little bit, shifting them to Titan Arena to check it. And also, if there will be a game having like bad few days, bad few weeks, and then they will have some, for example, some big update or whatever, we can always go back to that game. That's not a problem at all.
Okay. All right. So in terms of, and this is now for me, when you go back to a game, is it something that is a process that takes quite some time to shift, or is it kind of just immediate where you're like, okay, we're going back to it, we're switching over our players? How does that work?
Of course, it is. I will begin. So Dominic, you can finish. The main. This is obvious that it cannot be made instantly. Okay? This is not possible that one day we decide to move, because players need to change their competences. We will have some deep data analysis to make some competence matrix. So there will be some competences of our players that we know where to move particular players, because each player has more advantages in one way or the other way, and we have to decide. And we are making some talks with data analysts, specialists to go and to just advise us and just make this process more fluent. But of course, this is not one day. This is a process for 1 week, let's say. Only changing is, of course, but the decision is not so easy. But there will be some votings amongst our managers and so on, and the treasury managers. So Dominic, I give you the voice.
Yeah, I just want to add that shifting from one game to another not gonna be such a big problem. Like we can today easily launch 100 players per day, so that's not that time consuming and not that hard to do.
Okay. So actually, this leads into another question: is, let's just say someone starts earning, right? Hubert92 asked, why should players stay with you after they've earned enough money to buy their own NFT to play?
Okay, let's take Axie as an example. That's the easiest example right now. Of course, they can leave, but everyone who plays Axie knows that meta shifts all the time, and it will gonna happen in every single game. This is how the games works. The updates need to be implemented, the meta need to change, the OP characters need to be nerfed from time to time, and they need to remember about it. That even if they leave, they will buy their own NFTs in few days. They can be worth much less. Moreover, we are like putting big pressure, not big pressure. We are trying to connect to our community as much as possible, and our players will be rewarding them. There will be contests. Will be sending the best players to the tournaments. So we are trying to keep our players with us as much as we can, and we are giving it's like the one player is not not gonna be play only one game. For example, Titan Arena right now is like 1 hour gameplay of the day. The Axie Infinity is 2, maybe 3 hours, but we'll probably have scholars and players who will be able to play 10, 12, maybe 16 hours per day. So leaving us in one aspect will be removing him from the whole scholarship program, and I don't think they will do it. We'll see in the future, but we'll do everything as we can to keep them with us.
Yeah, of course, and I think that really is a benefit of joining a guild, is that you guys facilitate everything for them, so that they don't really have to do much and really think. Right, you're making the decisions, you're putting them in positions to win, and you're also expanding and making sure that they're part of tournaments and things of that nature. So, I mean, obviously that's great. So, you mentioned Axie Infinity, you mentioned Titans. How many games are you cooperating with at this stage? This comes from Chekta One.
At this stage, we have a partnership with Soul Chicks, with Deviant Factions. We're talking with Derby Star, Titan Arena, Giggle of Guardians, and we are closely looking to Illuvium, Star Atlas, Voxys, Aurori, Mirandus, Cypher. There is like every day there is one new title we can check. So I mean, we can check. We are connecting with, and I think that next year will be very, very big. I would like to go back to the last question, previous question you asked. There is another, let's say, advantage to being in a guild, being in PlayNity. Let's imagine that within a year or half a year, someone will make a game like WoW, and having a 2,200, 2,500 people guild and 5,500 people trying the game, and being as a one guild, giving also the huge advantage for every player. And if it's gonna be play to win, play to earn, then the players will definitely stay with us with the best guild.
Yeah, because you guys are providing trainers for them. You're making sure that they understand the game mechanics and that they're best suited. So from my end, from a question for me is, where do you source the trainers from?
Basically, we are some of our trainers are the people who we know from the old days, and the new trainers are picked from the best players. Let's say like that. The best players can become trainers, and they of course need to have beside the game skill, they need to have like a life skill to manage people and to willing to give their knowledge to other players. And also, we are planning to add some few more trainers from the poker stable, but this is more like Przemek thingy, if you can.
Okay, so maybe I will tell you something, because we've got some people who connected with some not crypto gaming experience, and some of our team members believe that for now there is something like there was in the beginning of 2000 years, so about 20 years ago, there was a beginning for poker, and it grew so much, and now play to earn is similar, and we have connections with a lot of players who have very big experience in the area of poker, which is much harder than play to earn, because in poker you can also lose. There is standard deviations from your results, but in the play to earn you can predict how much you will win in one day, and it is very easy. You don't have to face some mindset issues like tilt, or that you get angry because you lost, but your EV was good, just expected value. Okay, this is some term that in statistics that you've got some expected value, but let's say I don't know, maybe you throw a dice, there's 6 numbers, and if I play with you, Dominic, and you win only if there is one from me $100, and if there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I win. Then the EV is plus for me. But in a small term, you can win with me. But in the long term, of course, I will win with you this game. But there is standard deviation, because if you have advantage, you can lose a small period of time. So maybe this is some kind of topic, but it is much easier here than in poker, and we have people with big experience in this, making big guilds with multi-million profits as advisors and in team.
Yeah, I played poker myself back in when it was legal to play online in the US, and then it stopped becoming legal. So I know that US and their regulations. But let's just say, on the topic of losing, what happens if the bear market comes along? How are you guys positioning yourselves to continue bringing profits to your users, your investors?
Okay, so we believe that we are some kind of solution to survive potential bear market. It doesn't matter if it comes in 1 month, tomorrow, or in 1 year, because of course it will touch us also, as it will touch play to earn. But we believe that play to earn is a derivative from 2 factors. One is crypto, and second is gaming. And only crypto will have crashed. Gaming is developing very, very, very fast, and we believe that in some period, big players like Ubisoft, Blizzard, EA Sports, FIFA from EA Sports, maybe some other big players, Sony, will just go into crypto. Then this hype, this income from the side of the gaming will be even higher than downswing in the crypto. So it can be quite amazing, because the second thing is that we will manage our treasury. We'll keep part of our treasury in stable coins and try to manage it like a real portfolio. If the market crashes, then we will buy more NFTs at the promotional prices, and if there is a big hype, then we will collect more stable coins to be prepared for some potential crash. We will look at on-chain data, we will look at some trends, opinions from managers, and there will be special department to manage our treasury to survive bear market, and wait for times where big players in gaming will come to crypto, and it will happen. It must happen someday that those big players will come to crypto eventually.
Yeah. And like, as you touched on, what really makes me bullish about your project, aside from the fact that you're really, at the right moment with the play to earn hype and all these games where, I have friends who aren't even investing like that big in crypto, but what they did is they bought some land in a project, and then they're giving that to someone else to play with, where they're getting earned from profit. And these are games, right? So you have a whole industry of esports right now, which is starting to be very big competition for the real sporting franchises. And the way I look at your project is as if you were buying into a, let's just say, NFL team, or a football team like Manchester United or Barcelona. You guys that are the investors jumping into a project that is a guild that is giving profits from play to earn, where this industry is starting to boom so much more than even the regular sports industry will. I think that gives you the advantage. So that's one of the great things I think that you bring to the project. You bring to crypto. And this kind of follows up with a question. What you also mentioned is, why did you choose to launch on the Terra blockchain? Like, are there any benefits or drawbacks compared to other blockchains? This is from JJJ.
Okay, so as it goes for the Terra, we had big support from StarTerra, and this is the one of the issues we decided to go to Terra. We also think that on the Terra, there is community which can understand better our idea than communities on the other chains, because I think that the Terra community is quite it has higher average in intellectually possibility to understand the idea of the project than to only speculate in the Terra community. This is my thought. And of course, we want to be just play to earn, not the only one chain. We will also have our token on BSC, later on Solana and Ethereum, but our base and our let's say mother chain is Terra, and we are starting here, and this will be our headquarters.
Yeah, we also seen that the community in Terra seems to be really connected, and we can see that the people here fight for each other and fight for they seems to be like one big family, and that's really attract us, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of smart money here. There's a lot of hunger for projects like yours that really are setting themselves apart from just the regular copy pasta of ETH and Solana and what's really going on there. I know you guys are going to move there eventually, but I'm glad personally to have you guys start on the Terra ecosystem. But the next question comes from David Davidson, and it's: do you need a lot of capital invested to get started in the play to earn games with PlayNity? Obviously, I'm assuming this is from the investment side, as we already talked about the player side.
Sorry, because I had lag on the network. Could you repeat or give me one more time?
So do you need a lot of capital to get started in the play to earn games on PlayNity from the investor side?
No, there is no minimal requirement. You can just buy tokens for whatever amount you have. Of course, there will be some gamification, like some levels later on, that if you have some part of the of the level that you have probably some threshold that you reached, and then you will have more abilities. And if player has staked some amount of our tokens, that he will have some more incentives. It will work like some levels, but there is no minimal level. You can buy as much as you want and stake it, and then have gains from our activity and our players' activity, trainers, managers, and whole guild.
Okay, so to expand on that question, what are some of the utilities of your token?
Okay, so first utility is to the token is some kind of financial vehicle to transfer money from investors to players. So if the investor buys it and transfers capital to us, then we can use this capital and buy more NFTs for our players, and we can expand. Thanks to this, we'll have more earnings, and those earnings will be split between players, investors, and treasury. And the treasury, 20% of this will be for dividends. So there will be some buyback from the market and burning tokens mechanism. And next utility is, of course, governance. As we mentioned before, there will be possibility for token holders to vote on some issues regarding leaderboards, some how much incentives players will receive, or how much incentives will players receive. Next thing for our token is NFTs, which we will release. So if you hold some NFTs and you've got some level, then you will be able to get achievement tokens. We will issue some lands. We'll try to present our guild as a land of clans, and there will be NFTs to buy, thanks to how much you held your token, and for how long you will be able to buy some loyalty to buy more NFTs. We will issue some achievement NFTs, land NFTs, and event NFTs in our guild, and they will be probably very valuable because they will be very unique, and they will be a representation of some our activities, events, and so on.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's just say I'm an investor. I have some NFTs that are in a game. Can I come to you and give you those NFTs to rent out to players, or is it strictly you're using your treasury to buy these NFTs?
Okay, so at the beginning it will not be possible, but after some time we are planning to create contracts to lend NFTs, and it will be made similarly to other big guild YGG, where it is somehow implemented, but there will also have to be some kind of unbounding period, because we cannot let all people to just if there is some panic on the market, all people cannot just withdraw at the moment all NFTs and we will crash. So there will be probably some periods to withdraw those NFTs. So the black swan on some market will not make some flash crash or something like this. So we are prepared with many solutions, but this is subject for the first quarter of the next year.
Okay, so first quarter of the next year. That's I was expecting a little bit later, so that's great to hear that you're already implementing things quickly.
We will start working on this, okay, in the first quarter of the next year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we want to work on it, and we have to work on it as soon as possible, because there will be probably many people like buying, for example, I don't know, 100 illuviums, and they will be like, I have illuviums, I don't have time for play, but I got those assets and I want to give it to you to increase my assets, and then we are giving our players, and they are doing their job, and everyone is win-win situation for everyone.
So now that leads to my next question is, would you potentially sell your NFTs if, for instance, the resale value was just too good to pass up and maybe the earnings, they were equal? Would you give people the opportunity to buy these NFTs from you?
Yes, of course. That this is another utility of the token. So we will be selling NFTs, and maybe on some market places like OpenSea or something like this. There will be possibility for our loyal members to be first to buy such NFTs if we will decide to sell them.
Okay.
But of course, if we decide to sell them, then we probably do it because there is some purpose. Yeah. So maybe these NFTs have not so big perspective, but
Maybe,
of course,
maybe you get some insider info, or you start noticing a downtrend of something, and you realize that there's another move to be made. That's when you would potentially sell the NFTs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question comes from Yulfring, and he asks, "What?" Maybe she, but that person asks, "What are the advantages comparing to projects such as YGG or GGG, for instance?"
Yeah, and probably Merit Circle, the other project like this.
Yeah,
and. Of course, YGG is the biggest problem, not problem, maybe competitor. Okay, so they started half a year ago, and they had investor from Delphi Digital, so they had a very good start. We on the other side, we have a very enthusiastic team which believes in gaming, and we have experiences in other gaming fields we were talking about. and we will be more open to the community because let's take an example, YGG. If you go to YGG website, then there is completely no information, and to get further, you have to mint a badge in Ethereum. So for a let's say normal participant of crypto with lesser money, if you want to read about YGG, then you have to mint a badge in Ethereum. This is not quite open way to communicate with community, and we'll be very open, and we will try to take a part and the voice of the community into our decisions. Maybe it changed in YGG, but 2 days ago, if you went to YGG, I will try it because I don't want to be. Well, I don't want to lie to you because we were talking with this, but
fact checking live is great. We can always fact check live, make sure that we are on point.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have to also remind that the poker background is also the huge advantage from us. Some of our team members were the part of the Poker Spin, which is one of the biggest poker guilds in all over the world right now, and we have a huge. We get the huge. How do you say it?
Advantage.
Yeah, I said advantage and get a lot of experience doing that before, so we definitely know what we want to achieve here.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. I am on the YGG website, and for now, they made a few days ago. I'm sure of it. They made some learn more about YGG because we mentioned it with Delphi Digital, and we were talking about this, and they probably heard us and just put it like this. But earlier, there was only possibility to mint a badge with YGG to just go inside the guild. So now they are changing this. But believe me, it was not there a few days ago, maybe 1 week maximally.
But we also have to say that there is so many players all around the world want to play that there will definitely be place for at least few hundreds very big guilds in the play to earn model. So I'm definitely sure that everyone will find a place whenever they want to, and each guild will have something else, something what's special for just this guild, and you just need to feel it when you are in.
And the last thing is we are the first kid-like project on Terra, so this is another advantage because we are first on the Terra, and as we all know, Doc One is talking a lot about play to earn, and a lot of games are coming, so there are a lot of possibilities now, and this is our advantage.
Yeah. We ourselves are incubating a few of them and going to be launching on StarTerra soon. So I know the connections are going to be made. And in kind of what you just touched on, right? The Terra ecosystem, that is a huge advantage in itself because of the low gas fees. You mentioned Ethereum and how to mint a badge for YGG, that would have cost you potentially hundreds of dollars in gas. Whereas here in Terra, you can just, even if you were to do such a feature, which seems against it, but let's just say you want to buy an NFT or mint an NFT of yours, right? You're not going to have to pay these exorbitant gas fees to do so. So that is the advantage. And I also want to talk to you about a little bit about how, you mentioned community and your players. You already have a stable of players, correct? And how are you going to let potential community members join in as a player?
So right now we are having an application on our site, and so everyone can start everyone can take their chance. The application at the moment is only for the Axie Infinity, but soon, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, we'll release another one for Site and Arena, and it will go so on. for the next games, and also we are preparing the system when the one player can tell his friend, family, whoever to play. If that player will be good enough to be able to join PlayNity, then the person who choose him will be rewarded here. So
For now, it looks
referrals for having friends that
exactly, referral system. So you can basically get close to one of our players, and maybe he can refer you.
That's great. That's great. And you're going to say something?
I was thinking about telling you that we have a lot of applications for now from countries like Philippines and Vietnam and South America, and recruitment process will be made at the beginning manually, but in the later process we will have advisors from data analysts, deep data analysts to make and to take best competitions from players, and every member of community can try to become a player, of course, and there will be no exclusions, of course. Maybe
Yeah, of
better
course.
players will become trainers or even more. So that's the way
Yeah.
to make some kind of career. Last step is to become manager, but this is quite a long way because there are some trust issues between manager
But
and
it's possible. It's possible.
yeah, of course it's possible.
And for people that may be thinking like, okay, why would someone want to sit and play a game such as Axie Infinity for a long time? And if you're looking at countries like Southeast Asia, maybe in South America, where there isn't like this is big money for them, right? As a player, this can be a source of income where they didn't have these opportunities elsewhere. So you guys are creating a system where you're able to not only feed investors but also give to your players who really need it and who will work their butts off for it. Because maybe someone in the United States or in Europe, this might not be as much money for them. But when you have people who really need it, they're going to be working hard for it, and that's essentially what you need is a group of hardworking individuals to make sure that this runs very smoothly. So actually, this goes into the next question, which is, what are you currently working on in terms of strategy to be used to expand globally? And this is coming from Geeks. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just a few words on this, what you said about play to earn, because I think this is very important about not so rich countries, people, because it can change their lives. For example, on Philippines and Vietnam and such countries, and on some ethical level, you can think of play to earn as the first real decentralized problem solver in the differences in earnings between Western countries like United States, Europe, and poorer countries. Because for a Filipinos, it is often the case that they just play and have higher earnings than average payment in their country. So it is quite some money transfer from West countries to those poorer countries. And on some global philosophical level, you can think of it as some objective, like the project is not only for the money, but for some higher level objectives, some moral, like just equalizing those differences. If you think of that, this is really, for me, maybe there are some other, but for me, this is the first play to earn, first equalizer, some process that equals the differences between profits in many countries, and not centralized, like not some charity directed to the country which has got a lot of corruption in the whole process, because if you make some donations to the country, then on all levels there is some leaks, of course, and it works like this in work. But in this area, play to earn, it is just direct. It's very transparent because you can see everything on the blockchain, and this is great, of course, and this is the main idea of blockchain. And I think that not many people see that the play to earn is some higher social good things. So maybe Dominic will tell you something more about details in the process of players' reputation.
Yeah, well,
Before you do, Dominic, I just want to touch on what you said there, and what it is also you're empowering these players because they're getting payouts in what?
in crypto. They are getting
crypto.
payouts in crypto, and it's this trend also brings people closer to crypto. It's explaining, showing them the crypto and the whole hype and how it works, how it should work, how the world should work. To be honest, we can, for example, it's in Philippines. It's also already possible to pay in shop by the Axie Infinity currency. Not in every
Yeah.
shop, but some of the shops, some of the places accept this currency already as a payment. So this is this might be our future soon.
And I'm also my point is also to touch on what you just said is you're enabling the ownership economy, right? Because these players, they're not only just getting payouts in crypto, they're getting payouts in tokens which can rise in value. So they're essentially getting ownership of PlayNity as well as they're playing with it, right? So you're not only getting payouts, you're getting investments, which can then be passive income, and this is an amazing opportunity for people, especially in other countries and in third world countries, to become part of something bigger and expand past the strict, potentially corrupt systems that are in place within their countries, and be able to become financially free, wherever they please, right? They can then change their lives completely. So it's an amazing thing what you guys are doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we want to try to build here.
Yeah. So this next question comes from Danica Pineda, which is, how was PlayNity started? What motivated you guys to take on this venture?
Okay, so the main idea came from Pavel, who is the second co-founder. He had a lot of guilds in the area of poker, and just wanted to transform his experience, 20 years experience in this area, to play to earn, as he thought that this can be a second chance, and this is very, very early. And most people think that Axie is so high market cap, there is a lot of money and so on, and this is some kind of bubble. But probably it is some kind of early phase, and he thought that making such guild, which would be some ETF for play to earn, would be great idea, and to enable investors to put money into play to earn. Main idea was that we thought how to put our part of our portfolio to play to earn. And we couldn't find out that we have to think if Axie is good, maybe Illuvium, maybe some other thing. And we thought that we could make something like this for people to put money in a guild as a whole thing, to invest in play to earn. So that was the main idea.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that, with your experience, the 20 years of experience of running guilds, you guys know how to put together a team, how to train the players, how to make sure that there's a equal system of pay, right, where they're getting compensation. And now taking that and transferring it into crypto, giving them the ownership economy, being able to not only get payouts, but also get, to own a piece of the company essentially through the tokens. I mean, that just means to me that you guys are ahead of the game. And as I mentioned before, like, if people look at these guilds, like you mentioned, earlier that there's going to be hundreds of guilds because there's room for it. If you look at this as an investment in a potential team that is going to be paying out like a franchise, then you're likely to see the bigger picture. You're likely to understand how far this can go. And since we are in just the beginning stages with only a few guilds out there, as we mentioned, YGG, GGG, or Merit Capital, you guys are positioning yourselves to be at the top in early. So it's great to see that this innovation is coming to the Terra ecosystem, and you guys are going to be the first there. So for me, this I'm bullish. I'm bullish, and I'm excited for the project and to see what happens with the StarTerra IDO, which is coming up this Friday, tomorrow, where people are going to be able to start participating. Players are going to be able to use gamification to be able to try to get as much of an allocation as they can within your project. Now, I'd like to open the floor for you guys, potentially, if you have any questions from your community, or if you would like your community to know something specific about StarTerra itself and how the IDO process is going to go about.
Okay, so the main question from from the community of our project, they are asking us a lot about how to get to StarTerra and how to get our tokens by StarTerra, and what would be the rules, and how can you just make the whole process effectively, if you could answer.
Okay, so first and foremost, they would have to go on our website, app.starterra.io, scroll down on the homepage to the PlayNity research site, where they will be able to click to participate tomorrow. Once they click to participate, they have to do 4 things. First of which is go through the KYC process. Now, most people are wondering, why do you need a KYC? Well, first and foremost, if you want to eliminate bots and potential people who want to take advantage of a fair system, KYC makes sure that we have one wallet per one player, one person, right? Second, it's if you ever want to be listed on an exchange, you have to have KYC, right? So those are the two big issues we solve with KYC. After that, you would have to accept the terms and conditions of the StarTerra process, which is a very simple, easy to read document. All you have to do is check mark it, and then moving forward, you'd have to pre-fund your wallet. There are there are 2 types of tiers. One is which is recruit, and the other which is factions. And I'll get into that in a moment, but you'd have to pre-fund the minimum into your account to make sure that as soon as the IDO is over, that money is then withdrawn from your account, and you have it on chain to where you know exactly how many tokens you are getting. Now, in order to participate, we require a minimum of 250 STE, which is part of the recruit tier. That tier is 100% lottery based. That is for people who potentially might not have the capital to get into the factions, or who might just want to dabble or potentially see and test their luck without having to invest too much in the project themselves. Or you can join our gamified tiers, which is very in line with what you guys are doing, where you now have the choice to partake in one of 3 factions, and that is the Lunatics, the Degens, and the Interstellars. And what the gamification process does is this allows you to compete to get a higher allocation, all right? So we use gamification in the sense of not playing a video game, but in the sense of game theory, where people have to strategize and make sure that they are doing whatever they need to get the highest allocation. Now, to get into one of these tiers, there's a minimum of 3,000 STE to be staked. Now, STE is StarTerra Energy. You can check out how we calculate that on our website and through many of our documentations, or through the article we wrote regarding PlayNity IDO. However, on top of that, what we're doing is this is a minimum. So the more tokens, the more STE you have, the higher chance you have of winning the lottery, which is the 50% of a total allocation, right? So the lottery here is what everyone should be aiming for. However, the other half is guaranteed because we have an everybody needs to win mentality, where we want to make sure if you've invested and you have put out the capital to get that minimum of 3,000 STE, that you are still coming away with something. So half of the investment is, or half of the allocation is split equally amongst all faction members as the guaranteed, while the other half is as a lottery based, where users are going to have the opportunity to get as many of your tokens, your PLY tokens, as possible. And what we've also done is we've added a gamified pool. So this is an additional 15% of a total allocation that could be won by these factions. And so how we judge that, how we are going to do that, is first and foremost, we have some metrics that we use to calculate who should win that faction. First of which is the amount of STE staked. We have pre-funding as one of the metrics. How many UST people have pre-funded for each faction. We have the number of faction members in Whalecraft, and Whalecraft is top 100 wallets specifically for your IDO, where the top 100 wallets get a guaranteed allocation, right? And then from there, there's a few other metrics which we're using, but specifically for your IDO, we're going to be using social power. We're going to be releasing an article on that tomorrow, exactly the steps you needed. And what social power is to make sure that you, PlayNity, are getting user engagement, that you're seeing growth, and it's a marketing effort so that people who are investing in your project are also helping spread word about it. So we've created a campaign which we're going to also give away up to $20,000 worth of UST allocation within Play PLY as part of the sweep widget contest, which we'll be releasing the details of tomorrow. But this is all game theory, gamification, because, for instance, with our last IDO, even though the Lunatics were the faction that came in first place, they had a lot of STE, a lot of people migrated to them because they were consistently winning. But what ended up happening was the Degens, who came in second place, had a higher allocation because all the players migrated. They came in last for pretty much every IDO. So a lot of players migrated out of that. And what then in turn happened is, because there was a lot of players that migrated, the guaranteed allocation for that wasn't so diluted, and B, when you won a lottery, you had a higher chance of winning. So it really played out to how we want people to look at this as a strategy, an investment strategy, to use your mind to then develop a plan so that you can create, or you can get as much of an allocation as possible. So I hope that answers your question. It was very long-winded. And if anyone may be feeling confused about it, you can also check out our article regarding PlayNity, which we'll throw in the link below. But yeah, this is a way that we see people are able to essentially play a game, use investment strategies to make sure that they are on top, winning as much as they possibly can. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that's great explanation, and I think everyone will understand this, how to participate in the IDO.
Yeah. And so the IDO starts tomorrow. It starts at 13 UTC, I believe. If I'm incorrect, we'll make sure to put the right information in the links. But it is going to last a few days here, where we're going to be delivering stats. We're going to be letting people know exactly what they can do and how they can increase their STE to climb those leaderboards, because we also are having play to earn for your IDO, where the top players across all factions will have an opportunity to win cash payouts in UST, which I think it fits amazing into your system. And maybe we can potentially talk about having some of your players playing the STE game with StarTerra here down the line. So I think there's a lot of synergies. I know there's going to be a lot of partnerships that you guys can't talk about at the moment that are in development, and there's a lot of things to come. So, last question, which is, what are you most excited for in terms of your own project?
Okay, we are very excited to be on Terra, and this is quite honest because Terra is amazing community. We are excited about launching on both chains, and in the future by using wormhole technology to be on many other chains like Solana, Ethereum, maybe later Polkadot, and so on. And we are very excited in a half year to receive messages from new games that will want to join us and to play. So this is first objective in a half year, and we are very excited that people and games will just want to join us. And on the on the prospect phase, all games will plan some marketing or influence process using our guild. We are very excited that Doc1 is very bullish on play to earn on Terra. We are very excited that there is so much games being released right now, and we are very excited for 2-3 years to have partnerships with big players like Sony, Ubisoft, Blizzard, and so on. So this is our roadmap of excitement.
All big companies already looking at Axie and all the play to earn games, and soon player will have option. They will have to decide either they're gonna play normal games or they can also play game and earn. So there will be like no chance and no other option for the big companies. They just will need to enter the same system.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, when looking at what makes you guys so special is that this is just the beginning, right? I want people listening, and this is not financial advice, but being able to participate in something in the early stages and watch it grow and see and essentially get people in early, that to me is what's most exciting. We're seeing a trend forming before our eyes, and you guys happen to have developed before this trend even started taking off. So having the opportunity for myself or other players within our StarTerra ecosystem to be able to join in on this at the early stages before it becomes a global icon in terms of what you guys are going to offer, I think that's an amazing opportunity. So once again, thank you guys for allowing me to come onto your community and ask you questions from our community, and also for having you. It was a great honor, and I look forward to our continued cooperation. So,
yeah,
pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And for the people that want to join, app.starterra.io/PlayNity/research. You can join that. We'll throw in all the links below, and we're going to make sure that you guys, PlayNity, have the largest expansion that you could possibly have in terms of whether it's the marketing and the hype that is built around it. So once again, thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. If someone wants to have more information about PlayNity, we invite you to our Twitter, PlayNity, and our website, PlayNity.io. So here, or in the Telegram group and Discord. And
we'll throw in all the links so everyone knows. But once again, guys, take care. It was a pleasure. Looking forward to our continued cooperation.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.